I thought it was important to make this video and kind of address this conversation because we've been doing these workshops to promote our upcoming program, Crash Course in Love. It starts on June 23rd, which, by the way, if you're interested in joining us, you can go to myconsciousrelationship.com, sign up for a free workshop there where you can learn a little bit about the program. And then if you think it's a good fit for you, you'll be able to join us on June 23rd. You'll have a special opportunity to do that. But the reason I bring that up is because we've been doing these workshops and we had a question come up. A woman, she reached out to us. She said, I'm really interested. I really want to join, but I'm concerned because I think it might be too late for me. I think I might be out of time. And I think this woman, I believe she's in her mid-40s. I'm not going to share her name or anything, but I thought it was important to address this because I know this is a common concern. And I know this because we've had people in our programs everywhere from 20 years old to 60 years old. And we've had we've had success with people well into their 50s in terms of finding an epic love story and creating the love they're looking for. And we've had success with people every step along the way. But, you know, I think of my friend and my client, Jerusha. She was 50 something years old when we started working together. We worked together for about 7 years. During that time, one of her goals was to get married. She met her husband, married him, and I think they spent 4 years together by the time we ended coaching with each other. And they've just created the most incredible life and love together. So I do firmly believe that it's not too late. Like, no matter what stage of life you're in, you can get clear about what you want right now and drastically alter the course of your future. And however many years you have left, you can have those years be however you want them to be. I do firmly believe that, but there is a unique challenge to dating later in life. Whereas if you're in your 40s and you're dating, it's very different than being in your 20s and dating. And I wanted to make this video and kind of speak into what that challenge is, because it's very real. And I've seen it enough with enough of the people who've gone through our programs and people we've had the opportunity to work with, that you are confronting a very unique challenge later in life dating as opposed to earlier in life. So I wanted to speak about that, share some insight, and also share some hope, because as you'll see in this video, that's the most important thing. So thanks for watching today. Before we jump in, please like the video, share it, subscribe. If there's somebody that you think might be inspired by this video, I would love it if you would send it to them. And I appreciate you so much for watching today's video. So thank you. As I said, go to myconsciousrelationship.com if you want to join a free workshop where you can hear our story, hear our process of how we walk you step by step to create your epic love story. And then if you want, you also have an opportunity to join us for a Crash Course in Love starting on June 23rd. And that is a 21-day immersive experience in love. So I'd love to see you at that workshop. Thanks for watching today's video. And let's get started. So as I said, you do face a very unique challenge dating later in life as opposed to earlier in life. And let me also begin by saying that I'm in my 30s and I don't claim to know everything. Okay, so please, I want to start this video by saying that I don't claim to know what it's like to be at any other age than the ages I've experienced. But I do know my area of expertise, and I do know, certain things. So in this video, I'm only going to speak about what I know. And I have found that what I know in the way I work with people can be helpful to people at all ages of life. So I will say that take it for what it's worth. If it's helpful to you, use it. If it's not, don't. But I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live their life. I'm just trying to share what I've found to be helpful for lots and lots of people. And I will say, I think of my client, and I'm not going to share her name, for privacy purposes, but, she was married for 20 years, well into her 40s when we met. She had a very destructive marriage. It was very horrible, very heartbreaking. She got a divorce. Braved the dating world for really the first time in her life, because she was in her early 20s and she didn't date much when she got married. And she goes out, she starts dating. She had a lot to learn, but in a short amount of time working together, she was able to really clarify what she wanted in a relationship and learn some very useful and practical tools about communication and creating a relationship. And she was able to find a partner that was really well suited for her. And so, in a short period of time, even coming out of a divorce, even being married for 20 years, even starting this process of creating her love story this late in life, she was still able to do it. And I've seen a lot of stories like this. So I want to share about the unique challenge that I find we face later in life as opposed to earlier in life. And I think the thing is, in our 20s, as teenagers, we think we know a lot. I remember when I was a teenager, I thought I was king of the world, thought I knew everything. But into my 20s, I realized very quickly that I didn't know much at all, right? And so in my 20s, I kind of, in a way, got a blank slate. It was like, if I want to have a successful life, I have a lot to learn about life. If I want to have a successful relationship, I have a lot to learn about relationship. If I want love and happiness in my life, I have a lot to learn about love and happiness. So in my 20s, that slate kind of got wiped clear. And, everything I thought I knew, I let go of a lot of it. I started to get mentors and different people, and I learned a lot of things, and that allowed me to create a lot of success from my 20s moving into my 30s. And this is, now I'm in my 30s, so I'm currently experiencing this. So I'll share a little bit of my experience, and then experience of people that I know and people I've worked with who are in their 30s. And what I find is that, in our 30s, in our 20s, we kind of learn a lot and soak up a lot of information about life, and we develop some certain habits and patterns and beliefs as adults in life. And then in our 30s, whatever we kind of picked up in our 20s and used in our 20s, that starts to kind of crystallize, and it starts to become pretty solid. And then what I've seen and I've experienced from clients working, from the clients I've worked with who are in their 40s, is that by the time you get into your 40s, those beliefs that you picked up in your 20s have crystallized and become pretty solid. Now, this is the danger with that. There's an upside and a downside to that, right? So anytime a belief crystallizes, it closes off possibilities, because beliefs tend to generate your life. When you start to think something is a certain way, you start to believe something is a certain way, your life starts to show up congruent to that belief. So where in our 20s, we're kind of open and sometimes letting go of a lot of limiting beliefs, letting in new beliefs. And as those beliefs start to crystallize, we start to be locked in to the possibilities that those beliefs would create. I hope that makes sense. As you start to see life and believe that life is a certain way, you start to lock yourself into a certain realm of possibility that is congruent to the beliefs that you hold. And now, especially if you didn't spend a lot of time in your 20s and 30s learning and growing, and not just learning and growing, but challenging your perspectives and your points of view about things, and challenging your belief systems and trying to grow and evolve them. If you didn't do a lot of that in your 20s and your 30s, and you just kind of let the beliefs that you picked up along the way settle in, well, when you get into your 40s, those beliefs are going to be pretty hardened and crystallized. And I said in this video, I'm only going to talk about what I know. So what I know, what I would say, I'm an expert in, is helping people to break down the beliefs that are preventing them from having the things they want in life, and rebuild beliefs that are congruent to the things they want to create. And that's really what we do in our relationship work. And I was a coach for almost a decade before we started doing relationship work. So that's what I learned in developing myself as a coach, and as as I would deliver seminars and things, this was all the kind of stuff I would be doing. So what I found is that a lot of times when I'm working with someone who is, in their 40s and older, a lot of the beliefs that they picked up in their 20s and their 30s has now crystallized and become really solid. And the biggest problem with that is if those beliefs are beliefs that lead to a sense of hopelessness. So let me give you an example. Sometimes if in our 20s and 30s, we have a lot of problems with love or problems with relationships, or our relationships don't work out, one of the beliefs that will start to develop because of that is the belief that relationships don't work out for me, or the belief that nobody's going to love me, or I am unlovable, or the belief that I just don't do well in relationships, or I just don't get along with people, or I drive people away, or I intimidate people, or I'm too much for people, or I'm not enough for people, or I'm listing a lot of beliefs now. But these are the kinds of limiting beliefs that as we get into relationships, and let's say maybe you had a relationship when you were 16 years old, and maybe that person cheated on you or lied to you or something. And then maybe when you were in your 20s, you got involved with a narcissist, and they, screwed with your head and made you think things that weren't true, and destroyed your confidence. And then, maybe you got with someone after that who was kind of nice, but it was boring and it wasn't really fulfilling and it wasn't really exciting. And maybe after that you got with somebody who, they just didn't really respect you, and they didn't make your relationship important, and they didn't give you a lot of time and attention or make effort. They just kind of coasted through your relationship, and they never made you that important to them. And, as over the years, as you go through these experiences, if this has been your experience, or if you've had experiences like this, naturally you're going to start to think that something is wrong with you, or something's not working for you. Or when you look around and you see, well, this person has a successful relationship and this person has a successful relationship, why don't I have one? You're going to start to think that something is wrong with you. And if those were the impressions and the experiences you had in your 20s and your 30s, and then nothing really turned around and you start to get into your 40s, those beliefs are going to start to crystallize. Those beliefs are going to start to become really solid. They're going to start to become really set. And you're going to start to view life through that perspective. And as you view life through that perspective, love, the possibility of real love, true love, of a conscious relationship, of an epic love story, right? The kind of relationship that we talk about creating, that possibility is going to start to feel farther and farther and farther away to you. And so when you see a video like this and I say, you can create an epic love story, you're going to kind of roll your eyes and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, not me. That's not going to work for me, because you've already crystallized those beliefs and you've already developed a certain amount of cynicism because of that. So what comes with that is a feeling of like hopelessness, a feeling of defeat, a feeling of like the battle is already lost, even though you might have 40 good years in front of you, and maybe even 50 good years in front of you, maybe even 60 good years in front of you. And you might, like right now, if you got your mindset correct and you were able to empower yourself to approach the dating world and the relationship world in a powerful and in a confident way, you could meet someone in less than a year, or maybe more than a year, maybe 2 years, but you could meet someone really soon. And then we're talking about you have 40, 50 years to spend with the love of your life. So it's really not too late. But too late is actually a mindset. And if you say it's too late, then it is too late. If you believe it's too late, it is too late. So this is what I want to say. If you're watching this video, and if you're this far into this video, then you're probably this far in because on some level you do believe it's too late, or on some level you do believe that you've run out of time. If you didn't think that, you probably wouldn't have paid attention to this video because it wouldn't resonate with you. So if you are watching this video right now, and if you are relating to what I'm saying, and if you've had these feelings and these experiences, what I want you to do, two things I want to say right now. First thing is, we've got to break apart those beliefs. Those are limiting beliefs that are preventing you, and we've got to uncrystallize them. We've got to release that stagnant energy that is blocking you off from the love that you really want to have in life, so you can really get serious about finding it, and you can feel it, and you can experience it, and you can know that it's going to happen for you. So that's the first thing, is what we need to do is we need to uncrystallize those beliefs. What I'd like you to do now, right now, is go to myconsciousrelationship.com. I want you to register for the workshop I'm hosting on Thursday, because I'm going to break down this process for you step by step that is going to show you how to do just that. And in a very short amount of time, if you just simply follow the process I'm laying out for you, it will turn everything around. Now, I want you to go to myconsciousrelationship.com. The workshop is free. You can register there. I'm going to break down this process for you in the workshop. And all I want you to do is just block out the time in your life. It's going to be on Thursday at 7 p.m. Block out the time in your life. Actually show up. Bring a notebook, bring a pen. Make notes on this process. If you want, you'll have an opportunity to actually allow me and my wife to guide you through this process. But regardless of that, if you want to do that, you'll have the opportunity on Thursday. But regardless of that, I just want you to hear the process. I just want you to see the process. And I want you to see that you can have it, that it is not too late, that this really can happen for you. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope I see you in the workshop on Thursday. I appreciate your time today. Take care. Lots of love. Wishing you all the best, and talk to you soon. Bye.